Long ago, many Americans counted on pensions to sustain them through their golden years. Then, along came the 401k, which changed everything. So where did it come from? Califasene goes straight to the surprising source.
If you've recently been spending lots of time thinking about your retirement account, you can probably thank this unassuming 83-year-old.
I've heard you described as the father of the 401k. Is that true? Or are you requesting a paternity test?
Actually, that label was given to me by Money Magazine.
You were working in this office park when the idea came to you.
That's correct.
A little idea that changed the country.
Could have been anywhere.
Meet Ted Benna. He created the first 401k plan in 1981.
And you didn't get to name it, right? You would have probably chosen something catchier.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Robert here. Wanted to do this video today to provide some education. I've noticed something on YouTube and on my channel specifically in the comment section. And whenever someone doesn't agree with something, they come up with this obscure thesis about either buying a home or investing or what have you, or in my opinion, a regurgitated soundbite that they've heard from somewhere online. But I can tell that they've actually not done the thing that they said that they've done. And so there's a lot of debate on the channel as it pertains to either buying a home or selling. And it makes sense because that's the gist of the channel. As you guys know, on this channel, my goal is to simplify the home loan process. And so I said all that to say this. You know what? Let me go back and provide some history, some facts, because two reasons. Number one, people don't know what they're talking about. And then number two, a lot of you out there that don't want to buy a home and aren't investing, but want to use that argument as if it's a touche to me. And really, I don't care. I don't know you. I'm on the channel making the case either or. You either buy, or if not, you've heard me say over and over again, you should be investing. So Mr. Benna, he actually created the 401k, or he found the tax benefit for employers in the 401k. Think about Chicago. Chicago is a city that has a lot of pensioners and pensions. And these are obligations that you have to meet year after year after year. Well, people are living a lot longer and longer and longer and longer. And you can see it's not in the benefit of an employer or a company to have lifelong obligations. That's my point. And Mr. Benna, in the time that he found this solution in the IRS tax code, I'm dropping clues if you guys are listening. There was a time in the 70s prior to him finding this loophole, and going into the 80s, if you look at your history, there was high inflation. Employers don't want obligations for lifetime. They want to make money. They want to make the shareholders happy. All those things that a lot of you guys detest. But it is what it is. So Mr. Benna saw an opportunity to solve a problem. And I said all of that to say that, because there's a lot of problems today. But are you the type of person that is going to lament about it, or are you going to look for the solution that's right before you? So that's my thesis. Let's continue.
401 is a section of the IRS code that covers all retirement plans. And you go paragraph A, B, C. What happened was in 1978, they added paragraph K.
So like all the best stories, this one starts with a revision to the tax code.
Exactly.
Back then, as co-owner of a small insurance company outside Philadelphia, Benna noticed an obscure provision in the code that allowed corporations to contribute tax-free to workers' retirement accounts.
You're imagining that it's going to supplement the pension, and instead it turns out to kind of replace the pension.
That's been the result. It's not a good thing that companies have abandoned pension plans, but that was going to happen, frankly, whether there's 401k or not.
Okay, so Mr. Benna is in the business, okay? And he's looking for a solution to legislation that came about in 1974. And you know the government, the acronym is ERISA. ERISA, the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974. And it was put in place to protect workers from irresponsible pension management. Moreover, in the 70s, in the 80s, very high inflationary time, nothing like we're dealing with today. We're spoiled. We don't know what high inflation is. I was talking to my father-in-law when he was living. He had a gas station at that time. I remember having conversations with my dad. You know, them 70s and 80s wasn't no joke. Okay. And so companies all the way back then, 74, okay, regulatory environments, they're saying we have to get rid of this pension thing because people were even living longer then, kind of reminiscent to all of the rumblings that we have now. Section 8 changes, retirement or Social Security, some of the entitlement programs. This is the environment that we're in. So you kind of have some flavor as to why Benna was looking. And again, my goal on the channel is not only to simplify the home loan process, but to get us to think. These channels should be for us to get better and not just be entertained all the time. I know it's a part of it, but we should be learning something, right? And so the reason he was even looking at the IRS code that we all now have access to, along with large language models and all types of tools that will help you dig and look and find and learn. But I said all that to say this, because of that Section 8 video or videos that I've done, I've noticed in the comment section that there's a lot of people that have atrophied and they want someone to take care of them. And they give all of the obscure reasons why this person should or should not. But at some point in time, you have to take care of yourself, because as Mr. Benna said in that last segment, pensions were going to go away anyway because they're guaranteed contracts, and they're going to put the onus, the responsibility on you. In this case, the employee is now responsible and not the employer. That's been in play since 1974. It just didn't happen today. We're seeing the remnants of it happening because the economy has changed a couple of times. The way we work has changed. And a lot of folks have been stuck in 1962 when it comes to Section 8. Okay? And so I'm saying this in love to you so you can see that it's not always conspiratorial. It's capitalism. It really is. And as he said, it wasn't going to last anyway, because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Let's continue.
Benna says the 401k was attractive to employers who wanted to get out of the pension business. But for employees, there was a learning curve.
Generation X was like the guinea pigs, and they're kind of the first generation that is in this world where all of a sudden you've got to figure out your own retirement. You've got to take an active role.
Yeah, it's scary. I'd say the major reason it's scary is just educationally. They weren't given financial courses.
I mean, it seems like one difference between the 401k and a traditional pension is that the traditional pension is automatic. The 401k, it requires a little bit of knowledge and attention, and the employee has to really kind of take ownership of that a little bit.
Yeah, it's changed to some degree, fortunately. And the reason why it's changed is there's been legislation enacted now that if you have a plan, employees are auto-enrolled. And I helped support that legislation. And also your contributions are going to be automatically increased.
They've kind of idiot-proofed the 401k.
Well, that's recent, so that's certainly going to help going forward.
So that recent change, in my opinion, was a good change. And it was called the Secure 2.0 Act. This year, any employer that had a pension that you were qualified to be a part of as an employee, they're going to automatically enroll you into the pension. And you start with a 3% contribution. Every year thereafter, 1% increase in the contribution up to a maximum of 10%. But here's the kicker. That's if you don't opt out. And that's my point. I'm not telling you it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm talking about the behavior, and goes back to the last segment of the video and all of these comments from folks that are just getting the AI response off of line, to have those of you out there think that home ownership is a horrible thing. Again, if you can afford it, you better get to it. And this is the reason why there's no more pensions. And let me get back on my point with the Secure 2.0 Act that automatically enrolls you if you qualify. Well, guess what you can do? You can opt out. And all of these folks online that have all of this money in investing that really just recently opened up. I remember in the late 90s, I'm trying to start an investment club. I mean, you had to go read and figure out how to do it and pick stocks and things of that nature. All of these apps that you guys have now, and there's a reason that it's easy, okay? You're really not investing enough to move the needle down the line. And a majority of us salt of the earth people like myself, okay, you need to own a house because it's a forced savings account. And if you buy it the right way, because it provides utility, you use it, you need shelter. And if you can get somewhere and sit down, right, on the back end, you'll have something, because that opt-out feature is a bad feature for a lot of people. Not only that, everybody can't handle the volatility of the market. These folks aren't being genuine. They act as if the last 10 years has been the average over the time that the stock market has happened. And you're not honest with yourself a lot of times, because if you have been investing a little bit over the last 8 years, whenever the market has dipped, you sold everything. You locked in those losses. And I'm not laughing at you. It's just because you got to know thyself. So that's my argument for home ownership, because you got to use it. It's tied to inflation. It's a long-term play. But if you can't get into it, because it's becoming more and more unaffordable for a lot of people that have been sitting around listening to these folks online lie, because they're not doing none of what they saying they're doing. And if they come to you and tell you that they are, just say, show me. I'll tell you a quick story. We was at Bible study, and I was in here popping off at the gums talking about what I used to do. Well, used to is a rooster that don't crow no more. And I was talking to one of the young fellas, one of the young bucks, and he was just like, let's see. And I was like, what'd you say, bro? What say? What? And so from that point on, I quit popping off, right? Don't talk about it, be about it, because somebody might want to see. So when they telling you about all of their returns in the stock market and all the stuff that they done, right? Because a lot of them are children of Generation X, who was the test for taking care of it yourself. They ain't got it. And I know they don't have it because the majority of Americans don't have $1,000 for an emergency. Now that we know better, we should be doing better, but we need that runway, that 10, 20, 30 years to see if it really happens. You always have a remnant of some Gen Xers that were on good jobs and things of that nature, or understood what was going on, but that's not the masses. What have saved the masses, and some things are timeless, is home ownership. Okay? It's just about buying it the right way. And if you're one of the 60 to 65% of the population, so that's not everybody, that does it, if you do it the right way, it will be a blessing to you. If not, you need to learn how to invest and put a lot more in than you currently are, because there ain't no pensions. The employers have taken them away because it costs too much. Y'all are living too long. And guess what? Now the government is talking about all of these pension programs. You see? Because a lot of you guys don't want to work. Just what it is. Because that's how it works. It's a Ponzi scheme. You put your time in, you retire, and those coming behind, you put your time in. That's the truth of the matter.
401k can be idiot-proof, but it can't be market-proof, as the financial turmoil of the past few months has demonstrated.
What most people want when they think about retirement is stability, predictability. And that's not generally what the stock market provides.
No, it's absolutely a problem. In the bond market either. The bond market is oversold as being more stable.
A lot of people are really nervous about the performance of their 401ks. How's yours doing?
I don't have any in a 401k.
You no longer have a 401k.
I rolled it into an IRA.
44 years after inventing the 401k, Ted Benna is still planning for the future.
As someone who helped a generation save for retirement, how did you think about your own retirement?
Well, at 83, I'm not retired yet, so.
Am I wrong to see this as you conspicuously failing to practice what you preach?
Yeah, probably.
Well, there you have it. Mr. Benna, I don't think you did anything wrong. You took advantage of an opportunity, and that's something that we all can learn from. Number one. Number two, he's not retired yet. Why are you trying to retire? You're 32. You're 35. Life has to have a purpose. And so enjoy where you are. Work, get to where you need to be, and solve a lot of problems. And money will never be a problem for you. And then the third thing, he didn't have a 401k anymore because he understands the tax code. And so he's rolled it over to an IRA. And I'll let you do your own research as to why that might be a good thing to do. What I do want to say as we get out of here is this. Taking a page from Mr. Benna, if you type in topic number 701, sale of your home in the IRS tax code. Here's the deal. If you're a single person, as of the recording of this video, things can obviously change. But it's funny, the things that benefit those people that understand the tax code never really change. And they seem to be on top as far as what top is, okay? But if you're a single person and you sell a home, you can make up to $250,000 and not have to pay any capital gains tax. If you're a married person, right, that's up to $500,000, $500,000. And so at the end of the day, you have to do what's good for you. If that's investing, you have to understand, because he did say that it's sold too much that investing is just this sure thing. It's very volatile, even in the bond market. That's oversold as a safe place as well. You have to do your homework. You have to stay on top of things. You have to advocate for yourself. And so it's been since the 70s that this plan today has been in place. What plan? You're on your own. I'm on my own. Now, I subscribe to a higher power. That's me. Might not be you. But as far as boots on the ground, all you got, and along with the team that you curate and cultivate, those that labor amongst you, if you will. So hopefully you learned something. If you want to get on the property ladder, dealing with residential real estate anywhere in these United States, and you'd like to reach out and have a conversation, first 15 minutes on me, it's free. Would love to speak to see if we're a fit. And my time is up. but I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let us let grace abound. And watch this video here. You guys stay blessed. Indeed.